This meeting is being recorded.
Chant Chronicles, starring my love, Jim and John. Here we talk about wrestling, everything inside the ropes. Well, Chant Chronicles, Chant Chronicles, Chant Chronicles, Chant Chronicles, Chant Chronicles, starring my love, Jim and John. Hey, hey.
That's right. It is the number one catchiest pro wrestling theme songs, the Crowd Chant Chronicles. And it is me, your host, Milo Jimmy Jones, once again here to talk about my favorite thing, pro wrestling. I'm your pro wrestling friend. I love talking about it. If you see me at a show, I'm usually wearing some weird pro wrestling shirt with either like Luna Vachon on it or what I got on today. Oh, I have on the Orange Cassidy group, Trent and Chuck and Chris Statlander. That's what I have on today. But we're here to once again talk about pro wrestling. Before I get talk about it, I always want to give a shout out to my sponsors. I want to give a little quick shout out to my friends Dog Venture. You can check them online. Just like we have adventures, dogs have them too. You might want to groom your dog. It's hot right now in the summertime. Get some hair off of it. You might want to take your dog to the gym. They have a dog gym. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. They have two locations. Just type in their name online, DOG Venture, just like you would think about it, Dog Venture. They're beautiful. They're wonderful. I know we're getting down to the end of July. Next month's going to be August. Then we got later on coming down 4 months after that. We get towards November and December. It's time to think about some jewelry. You got weddings coming up. You may have a gift you want to give to somebody. Check out my friend Lady Monopar making beautiful jewelry. She vends festivals. She makes her own jewelry. She might even make you your own pro wrestling jewelry. You might be like, you know what? I want an Ultimate Warrior necklace. Make me it. She's fair with her prices. Her work is handmade. It's not something you're going to go to Walmart and get put around your neck and get sick. It's an amazing thing. And my last sponsor is my friend Brian's Hot Sauce. You can check him out online, Brian's Hot Sauce. You can check him out online on Instagram, Brian's Hot Sauce PA, making fresh hot sauce. He's a beautiful garden, making all his own peppers. You're not going to worry about nastiness or is this fake meat? Is this fake peppers? What's going on here? You can put it in your chili. You can put it, you know, in your salsa. You can make a little sandwich and put it in whatever you like. Hot sauce is wonderful. Today, we're going to talk about a wonderful episode. Before I get into it, we're going to talk about something great in pro wrestling and a great event I like to talk about. But before we get to that, I want to talk about three guests we have on the show. All three of these guests you can find on the wonderful app TikTok at Chair Shots. Pretty easy to think about. If you're a pro wrestling fan, I think we all know what a Chair Shots is. You also want to follow the homie who kind of helped create and help get these people out there on Chair Shots and told them, like, come on, I want you to be part of this. Our friend Cactus F and Chris, please give him a follow. My first guest has been on, God, every single episode except for two. Everyone always says that. Two episodes. She's on Chair Shots on Friday, right before SmackDown goes on. So if you got some time, you're chilling, maybe you're making dinner, you want to have a little bit of background on, maybe you want to play a little trivia, you're just relaxing, you got nothing going on, check out my friend Diamond Dallas Barb on Friday on Chair Shots. DDB, how are you and what do you have coming up for Chair Shots?
Hi, I am doing great. I this Friday we are finishing Evolution trivia with Triple H trivia, and we're going to be giving away a Evolution action figure set. So it's really cool. And then we got some more stuff planned.
I like that. We got some more stuff planned. They got trivia. They have a great time. I'm gonna say it right here because I can say it here. It's only $3.17 to subscribe to it. That's less than, you know, some of the prizes they've given away. It's less than a Goldberg boot. It's less than a Funko Pop. It's less than the Shawn Michaels water bottle that I won. $3.17. Also on Chair Shots, checking them out on Tuesday coming up is going to be our friend Dunbar, who's been on the show again. Dunbar, excuse me. I got to get used to that. What do you got coming up on Chair Shots, and how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty splendid first myself. Dunbar, both they're both me. I'm the man of many names. But yes, I am the newest member of the Chair Shots family. I got a show on Tuesdays. We just had our first episode last Tuesday. What I'm doing is reviewing old WCW pay-per-views or ECW pay-per-views, either one that come across. This Tuesday coming up, we have Halloween Havoc 1997, and it'll be my first time watching the whole show. So you guys got to hear my thoughts on it and how good or how bad it may have been. That's what we got going on there. Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Central or 8 p.m. Eastern on Chair Shots.
I love it. Tuesday doing some reviews. Who doesn't like to talk about reviews of wrestling back in the day, stuff that we grew up on? Oh, I can't wait for that. I'm so excited for that. And our third guest, because yes, we have three guests on the show today, is I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna talk about something personal to me because this is something people may not know. For a few weeks, I was like, you know what? I'm not getting YouTube TV. I'm not going to get it. Or excuse me, Netflix. I was like, I'm not going to get Netflix. I could just wait on it and this and that. And I was like, oh, wait, Joe Dallas is on Monday night after Raw. They're going to be talking about the show. I don't need Netflix. I'm just going to wait until 10 o'clock or a little bit after 10 o'clock, closer to 11 sometimes. Jump on. Joe's usually on for a little bit, talking about what happens on the show and really brings me into it. And I love it. Joe, you're on Mondays after Raw, doing Raw Hangover. How are you doing today? And what do you have coming up in the near future for Raw Hangover?
I'm doing pretty good. As for what I got coming up, we're just going to be talking about Monday Night Raw. We might have coming up in the next month or so, there might be a special guest host who is from Canada. We might have him coming in. I don't know. Not going to say the name yet, but he might be guest hosting one night.
Cope.
No, not Cope.
No, it's not Cope. It's
somebody who does not like Bill Goldberg.
Oh, a certain black wet hair, pink sunglasses wrestlers.
He's for some reason he's been hanging out at my house a lot lately, so I might just make him host the show.
Well, I can't wait to hear the co-host. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be co-host on Chair Shots. Please, everyone, if you're listening to this episode, before we even get into it, please follow Chair Shot. Check out all three of my guests. If you're doing something one day or can't get to it, here, look, Friday, Tuesday, Monday, they got you covered. Different times when you can get on there. And like I said, I didn't have Netflix for a bit. I was like, yo, I'm gonna go on with Joe's on. I go on Barb's on. She does trivia, and Barb does trivia great. And Dunbar has been on to review so many different things on here. I know he's going to do an amazing job and blow it out of the park reviewing stuff. Speaking of review, it is time to do it once again. We did it with Survivor Series. We did it with the Royal Rumble. We did it with WrestleMania, and we're doing it again. We're doing a review. This is our SummerSlam series review. There's a bunch of lists out there you can look at about SummerSlam, and I looked at a bunch of them. I tweaked them. I looked at their different things, and I was like, I don't know how to feel about it. And I think sometimes it's best to go against the people that started it. WWE. WWE were the innovators of SummerSlam. It was their show. They made a list. They made a top 10 on WWE.com, and that's the list we're doing. We're doing 5 episodes, and we're going to go from number 5 on the list all the way to 1, and then hopefully when we get to that point, it'll be time to do SummerSlam predictions. The first ever 2-night SummerSlam. Is everybody in the chat excited for 2-night SummerSlam? Give me some like loud crowd chant sounds.
Woo!
Yay!
There we go. I bet there'll be. I bet if we all went to a show together, it would be way loud, and they'd also
Oh
be
yeah,
like, "Oh
it
my
would be a
god,
lot.
crowd chant!
Yeah, a lot.
Crowd chant is Molly Jimmy Jones is really loud." So we're going to talk about it. This episode is number 5 on this WWE.com list of SummerSlam, and this is we're going to be talking about today on this episode. The first episode of the series is SummerSlam 2008, and the SummerSlam, there's different things you can say about it. Sometimes you can say it's a little shorter than the other ones. You can say it may not hit. There's some things I like about it. There's some things I don't like about it. But I'm going to talk about 2 fun facts I thought were great, and I want to hear what my guests have to think about these fun facts. The first fun fact, and I don't know if anybody knows this, and I want to hear if you guys have fun facts too to bounce off with me. The first fun fact is this is the first ever PG era pay-per-view event, meaning there's usually an event like in the golden era there was an event that started off, kicked it off, a pay-per-view, attitude era, same thing. This was the first event of the PG era. Diamond Dallas Barb, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's definitely an interesting fact. Going back in history and stuff like that, kind of trying to remember the pinpoint of the PG era. For some reason, it's just, I always thought the PG era was a little bit earlier than that. Um, so being SummerSlam basically in 2008, kind of a little shocking.
Yeah, it's a kind of off there fact. Dunbar, do you got anything to bounce off of that? Thinking about the PG era and this SummerSlam 2008, what do you think about that?
Actually, a little bit of the opposite of what TDB was talking about. I felt it was a little bit later in my mind. I know this is the technical, like this was the first one that was TV PG, but as far as like how the product became more noticeably PG, I felt it was quite a few months after this, really, on my end. But yeah, technically speaking, this was the first one.
And Joe Dallas, I'm not going to ask you the same question. I'm going to use it in a different way. What did the PG era mean to you with this SummerSlam? Like, if you look at the card and the matches, do you think it fit the same mold as something you would call the PG era?
Um, yeah, I think so. Like this is honestly, I watched this earlier today. This was the first time I had ever seen the SummerSlam. I thought I had seen it before, but this was the first time I'd ever seen this. And when it started, I wasn't too thrilled about the match card, but it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, it's definitely a PG era show. Other than like the main event, it's definitely PG era.
I think that sometimes some events, even if you look at the card and after you watch it, it sometimes surprises you. Like this event, I'm not going to say we're going to talk about at the end how I really feel, but it wasn't like I'm watching like garbage or this is horrible. I still kind of enjoyed it and I had a good time watching it. Let's get. Oh wait, does anybody else before I move on to the next segment? I actually want to ask anybody. Does anybody have any fun facts to tell me out there that they also have about this event?
I do.
Oh, Barb, go right ahead.
So it's kind of like 2 fun facts, but it's about the same wrestler on the card. As you guys know, I am a huge Jeff Hardy fan through and through. During the SummerSlam, first of all, it was his first SummerSlam in 7 years. He did a huge gap. His last one was 2001. And then also during this match, he actually was wrestling with an infected elbow at the time, and it was so bad that prior to the event, um, I mean, sources, you know how sources are always different things and everything, but even had to have it drained kind of right before SummerSlam. So it was pretty interesting to know that he was suffering from not so good of a. He wasn't 100%. Let's just say that.
Well, thank you for the cool fact about 7 years, and then thank you for the gross facts about an infected elbow. I always appreciate the grossness, Barb.
I'm
Thank you.
always about the grossness.
Mm. The dumb bear. Do you have any fun facts about this event?
I don't know how fun of a fact it is, but I found it interesting enough to want to say something about it. Uh, the segment involving Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels, which I'm sure might come up in the episode. Uh, Michaels' wife came out and she gets involved physically, and she actually got her clock cleaned. It was supposed to be more of a work punch from Jericho, and she stepped too far forward, and he stepped too far forward, and he actually punched her in the face. Legitimately cleaned her clock out. So, I mean, and it took her reassuring both Michaels and Jericho for them to stop feeling so bad about it. When she apparently she asked Jericho if that was the hardest that he could hit, and that kind of broke the tension. But yeah, she legitimately got punched out by Jericho.
Oh, I'll definitely be bringing that up later in the segment. Don't you worry. I can't wait to talk about that. I love that moment. And it's all people are probably like, oh, why'd they talk about that now? Don't worry, everyone. We're gonna have a lot to talk about this episode. Joe Douse, do you have any fun facts for me during this episode?
Yes, I do. It was the
Oh,
first time the Intercontinental title has changed hand in 6 years at SummerSlam. When
wow.
Santino Marella took it away from Kofi Kingston.
Oh, we'll definitely be talking about
By
that. Here's
technicality.
But we will be talking about technicalities and get into discussions about that. One thing that is another fun fact I want to talk about really quickly is something that people don't always know about, and that is about a technical aspect. Um, we've seen a lot throughout the years. WWE used to come out through the WF and the curtain. They used to come out through that. Then it switched to things like Stone Cold coming out through broken glass. And by doing that stuff, you had to get the picture better. You had to get better quality with that. This is the first WWE pay per view in HD TV. This is it. Anybody have any thoughts about that?
I mean, it's definitely an interesting thought. I mean, going back and watching it, I guess I feel like back then you could definitely tell that it was HD, but as time progressed and everything, I'm like, because I even kind of did a snippet look back and stuff like that. I was like, are we sure that's HD? Because I just feel like technology has gotten so much better that it's just like it's hard to even tell, you know?
You're right. We're now in 4K with those cameras, and it's very interesting. With anything, does anybody else want to say about anything about this and think about? I mean, you got to think about it. We're in 2025 now. That's 2008. That's a still a long time ago. Do you think
Almost 20 years.
that we have advanced more with our TV in a way, Dumbear?
So I mean, if you listen to the technical groupies, we have, but like 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 DDB was saying, I never really noticed the change, honestly. I remember back when this was going on, when they were making the switch to HD. Uh, I want to say it was Triple H did an interview or somebody said something like, "Well, now they're going to be able to see all the zits and ingrown hairs we have." And I never noticed a single thing. Like everything just looked the same to me. I just remember being underwhelmed by it. And even currently, when they switched to 4K, it was just
Hmm.
eh.
You're
I don't really see
under.
it.
You said underwhelmed by it.
I was very underwhelmed. I never really noticed the change. If I go back
Huh.
and I look in hindsight, I can tell the difference. But at the time, I
Couldn't tell.
don't think I really gave two rips.
Joe, did you see the change? Do you notice the change in a way?
Not really. I
Huh.
mean, I don't remember. I don't remember like when it first did that, whether I noticed it then or not. But watching it back now and didn't really look any different to me. So
I bet you they went through with like a nice comb through the network and were like, we got to make sure everything looks perfect, amazing, and delicious. We're going to get into it now. This is SummerSlam 2008. It's happened on August 17th, 2008, Indianapolis, Indiana. It was a super show, as you call them, with Raw, SmackDown, and it hurts to say this, ECW. But let's be honest, it's not the real I know Cactus. I'm going to do something actually on homage to Cactus Chris. I know Chris calls the World Heavyweight Intercontinental Championship. That's what he calls Gunther's belt right now. I'm going to call the WWE's ECW not the real ECW. So it was also not the real ECW. Raw, SmackDown, and not the real ECW at this event. Indianapolis, Indiana at the Conseco Fieldhouse. 15,997 people, which is quite a lot. The match that opened the show, we're going to talk about first because we're going to talk about mid card matches, and we're going to talk. We might even talk about every match on the card. Who knows? We'll see where it goes. But I'm going to talk about two mid card matches. The first one I want to talk about is the first match with Jeff Hardy and Montel Vontavious Porter, also known as MVP in the match. I'm gonna get, I'm not gonna get too crazy talking about this or that. I'm just gonna talk about the ending, and I want to hear what other people have to say about the question I'm gonna ask. And the end of it was near the end. He went to go deliver the Whisper in the Wind, and if you don't know what that is, people that are listening to my podcast, because I do have some viewers that aren't out there. Jeff Hardy does this move where he runs towards the ropes, climbs the turnbuckle, and does a flip back onto his opponent that's kind of running, chasing him. It's an amazing move. Hardy tried to execute the Whisper. He delivered the Whisper in the Wind. He tried to execute the Swanton Bomb MVP, but Shelton Benjamin appeared, and Hardy took him out. Had to take him out, go after him. Hardy missed the Swanton Bomb, and MVP quickly kicked Hardy in the face and pinned him to win the match. I'm going to ask you, Dumb Bear, do you think the PG era, one thing that I mean, I want to ask your opinion on this, but I think they excelled with having show opening matches. Do you agree with this?
Are you asking if I think this was a good opening match in the
Yeah, I'm
PG era?
saying like the PG era had really good matches that could open a show. Do you think this was one of them?
I do. This was one of the better matches on the card. Uh, Jeff and MVP are both excellent workers. They This was a very well put together match. I do think the ending made Jeff look like an idiot. Because like you said, Shelton does run down, but Shelton doesn't do anything. And it actually, to me, looks like he's coming down to mess with MVP more than he is to mess with Jeff. He runs down, and you don't even really know that he's there until Jeff jumps off the turnbuckle to hit him, and then the match ends about 12 seconds later. Shelton doesn't do anything. But yeah, the match itself is great. It's wonderful. Two excellent workers, and it was very, very good opening match. Nothing wrong with it at all.
DDB, I know you like this match and probably enjoyed it quite a lot. But where is like the question I'm asking when I'm reading this and watching this match? Where is Matt Hardy? Why didn't he come out and save Jeff Hardy? What happened there? Why did Shelton Benjamin come out? Like, shouldn't Matt Hardy been out there for his brother? What happened? I thought the Hardy boys were together. Explain this to me.
Well, the thing is, at the time, the Hardys were not together. The Hardys were on two separate shows, and if I'll kind of hit on a small note here. Basically, it like that time where Jeff saved Matt in Matt's match later on in the night and stuff like that, in the worst match, the worst match of the pay-per-view, which is freaking sad because you have ECW and it's the saddest moment on the card. That's pathetic. but it's the first time they reunited in a long time. That was. So the thing is, but with Shelton interfering and everything like that, it was such a quick thing. Like between Shelton interfering and Jeff getting pinned, it was only like 15 seconds. It was that quick of a moment that you can't you can't expect somebody to interfere and stuff like that, like Jeff or Matt saving the day and stuff. So I felt that was a lot more believable than something hunky dory and stuff like that. And then Matt comes in and saves. I actually enjoyed the ending of that match with MVP winning. Not that I wanted MVP to win, but that's the way to do it with an interference like that. Not some hunky dory and then some more hunky dory and all of this other stuff. But Dunbar's right. Like Shelton interfering in this match was so fucking pointless and so worthless. It literally was like a blink and then he was gone. And you're like, wait, all I remember is some Hawaiian pink shirt guy. Like, was that even Shelton Benjamin? Like, that's how quick it was. You didn't even really see Shelton's face. That's how bad it was. But it was overall an amazing opening match, and I loved it. Um, there were the counters these two guys had for each other, top notch. It was definitely my third favorite match on the card.
Wow, we're picking matches. We're rating our matches already on the first match. I love it, DDB. Joe Dallas. Something I'm gonna ask you a different question than what I asked Dunbar and Diamond Dallas Bar, and that is, this match. When you look at it now, this is in 2008, and now we're in 2025, and even before that, 2020. This is like Shelton Benjamin's helping that MVP. Yo, this is like the beginning. Isn't this kind of like the beginning seeds of the Hurt Business? Hurt Business and excuse me, Hurt Business to all of our WWE fans and Hurt Syndicate to all of our AEW fans. Don't you feel this is the beginning or the seed plantings of it, kind of?
It's funny that you mention that because when Shelton Benjamin ran out there, at first I didn't even know it was Shelton Benjamin because I forgot he had the fucking blonde hair. I forgot all about that period of Shelton Benjamin. But once I realized it was Shelton Benjamin, that was my first thought. It's like, oh, we got the seeds of the Hurt Business already, way back in 2008. So I guess they were working on something back then already.
They were. It was the beginning seeds. 2008, I think, is a time in wrestling where certain wrestlers are moving into that stratosphere of Hall of Fame. Certain wrestlers are joining. You can tell they're going to join up with their friends like later on. We always let's be stable. And something that I really thought about, where it can be looked at in a good thing or a bad thing, however you want to look at it. Jeff Hardy was like the Dolph Ziggler before Dolph Ziggler. He was bumping for people. He was laying on his back for people. He was taking the pin, and he was like selling for people. So props out to Jeff. Props. This is Crowd Chant Chronicles. We do clapping. We do chanting. That's right. Clap. Cheers to Jeff because he really did. Give MVP a win. That's great. MVP kind of needed that at that time. Does anybody have anything else to say before I move on to the next mid card match I would like to talk about?
I will actually just kind of want to point out that something that you did say,
Oh, go ahead.
going because with what you just said about Jeff being a seller and stuff, I go back and everything, and you're 100% right. Like there's certain wrestlers that they're known for things and everything and whatnot, but going back into kind of because you got to think Jeff started in the 90s and now it's 2025 and he's still wrestling. So you're talking almost 20 years ago at this point, and Jeff had already been in the business for about 10 years at that point, so he was already a veteran. Um, Going back in his career and stuff, I I forgot what an amazing seller Jeff really freaking was. And it just it kind of scrambled my mind, and I'm like, you know what? Jeff is probably one of the best sellers that I've seen. Like, I'm not saying he's the best seller. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I know what y'all gonna say, but Jeff is one of the best sellers. He really does sell well, and that's what I. It just proves my point of why Jeff is one of my favorites of all time.
It's not just only that he sells well. It's look at the people like Umaga, MVPs we're talking about. This even kind of Edge, I would say, Randy Orton, Shelton Benjamin. These are people that he helped the career. Dolph Ziggler did the same thing for Alberto Del Rio, for Brody Lee. So he's always been a great seller and amazing. Does anybody else have anything they want to say about this match? Dunbar or Joe Dallas, please speak up. Don't be afraid.
No,
Just
I'm good on that match.
Okay.
one little
We
tidbit.
good.
Actually, you were asking Barb about why Matt didn't jump down to interfere, and just to keep in the storyline of this particular night on this card, Matt has a heavyweight championship opportunity in two matches. This is the first match of the night. Matt's match is the third match of the night. I mean, you can't really expect him to be up and ready to go to interfere in this match when he's got such a big opportunity less than 20 minutes later. So
I mean,
kayfabe wise,
The Hardy Boys could have been in the corner. They could have came out with him, but like Barb said, they're on two different shows. I just feel like
yeah,
if it's a super show, you might want to be with your brother, help him out. You know what I mean? Be in his corner, support him. You know what I mean? You're the Hardy Boys for a reason. That's all I'm saying. Let's move on to the
there you
second
go.
mid card match. And I'm excited about this one because I know everyone's going to chime in about it. And it is a winner take all intergender tag team match. People listening to the podcast, first of all, hit that subscribe button right now. And second of all, what is going on here? What is intergender tag team winner take all? Well, here's what's going to happen. We're going to have some championship belts in it. It's going to be a man and a woman. I'm pretty sure when the woman tags in, the other woman has to come in, and when the man tags
No,
in, you go in. Oh no, we're not in
Nope,
this match. Okay,
not in this match,
you're right.
back
because
in.
a lot of
You're right.
people forget that this match was not a mix match.
There you go.
It was an
Oh,
intergender match. You had not Becky. You had Mickey James literally beating all over Santino Morella
you're
in
right.
this
You're right. Okay, you're right. Correct. I forgot about that. So this match was different. It was man and a woman on one side, man and a woman on the other side. Whoever the thing that I think is more exciting about this match is the winner take all aspect. Whatever team won would win the WWE Women's Championship and the Intercontinental Championship. Um, Joe Dallas, what like at this time in WWE, this is the highest stakes because the only other belts they had was only a few. Isn't this like a really big match to have on this card?
It it was a big match, and it was cool to see like a different way to defend the championships. The only thing is, it was so predictable because Santino and Beth Phoenix, they were actually an on-screen couple. Kofi and Mickey James were just two random people who had championships. So you kind of knew that Santino and Beth Phoenix were going to walk away with the belt, but it was still a good match anyway.
I also like
I was still very entertained by it.
I also like that this was the Jamaica Kofi Kingston, if you know what I mean. They announced that he was from Jamaica. That's right. Um, but as you said, this match got pretty dicey towards the end. You know, Morella tossed Kofi Kingston over the top rope outside, and then he suffered a Mickey DDT, which was Mickey James DDT, like a swinging DDT from James. But that allowed Beth Phoenix to capitalize at that moment and hit the Glam Slam, which is I guess the best way to say that is like a pick up full Nelson, slam you down on your face move is the best way to say that. And she
More like a
pinned.
butterfly underhook.
But yeah, but that's the best way to say it. Thank you, Dumb Bear. a butterfly pick up and slam you down your face, or drive you down on your face. But Beth Phoenix did that. That's her finisher, the Glam Slam, because she is the Glam, and we all know that Santina Marella and Beth Phoenix, the Glamazon, were Glamarella. The Glamarella won the match and thus became the WWE Women's Champion and the Intercontinental Champion. Now, for fun, good funny times, here's something I thought about while watching this match. I want to ask you, DDB, if you thought this was funny. What if they switched the belts? Meaning, Santina Marella was now the women's champion if Beth Phoenix was now the IC champion. What do you think would happen with history from that, DDB?
I mean, it would have definitely kind of changed. Not, I really don't think it would have changed the landscape so much because I mean, we've already had a man win the women's championship at this point. If you know, you know, Hervina. But I kind of actually felt that way, honestly. I feel like Beth Phoenix did all the work in this match and everything, and she was this like honestly, the women were the standout of this match, just saying. But Beth Phoenix did win the match. I mean, she did Santino Marella really do anything? He was just getting beat around by Mickey James the whole match. But you should have just put the Intercontinental Championship on freaking Beth Phoenix at this point because Santino Marella was just trash. But I do want to quickly say something. Another kind of interesting fact about this was if people forgot, Kofi Kingston had just been drafted to the main roster at this point. He was only on the main roster for just a few weeks because he won the Intercontinental Championship on his debut night of Monday Night Raw when he was drafted in the supplemental draft. So obviously we are going to be getting the Jamaican Kofi Kingston. So it's kind of another interesting fact.
I think that we just missed out on some great matches. We could have had Beth Phoenix versus Dolph Ziggler. We could have had Beth Phoenix versus Shelton Benjamin, Beth Phoenix versus MVP. And then on the other side, you got Santino Morelli, Mickey James, the rematch. You got to have that match. You got, Santino Morelli, Kelly, Santino Morelli, and what's her name? Eve Torres. I mean, the world could have been
Did
amazing.
get that in a sense. We did get that in a sense
I
later on down the
mean,
line.
I would have liked it the other way. I just don't know. Dunbar, do you think this match is memorable in the history of the WWE because it was a kind of historic making match?
First of all, do you just want Andy Kaufman to come back? Is that what you're looking for here?
No, I mean, I just think Santina is very funny, and you can make Santino work in a lot of ways. That's certain comedic acts. You can only like Boogeyman. Boogeyman can only work in the way he jumps out. He's like, I'm the Boogeyman, shoves worms in his mouth. That's the only way he works. I think Santino could have really done a lot of different things they didn't do in WWE at the time.
But as far as the question posed to me, do I think it is memorable? No. Do I think it should have been? Yes. Because, like you were saying, this is a fairly rare occurrence for a
It
winner
was
take all
actually
match to
the
happen.
first. It was actually the first of its kind.
Yeah, it's winner take all matches don't happen very often. And even then, when they do, the titles change hands even less. This should have been a much bigger moment, but it ended up being overshadowed by the comedy because of, I mean, the genius that is Santino Marella. I love the character. It's absolutely he's amazing, but he's a comedy act. They put the IC belt on a comedy act for a second time. This was his second reign as IC champion,
Oh.
and it it just doesn't. It overshadows the match itself. It overshadows the rarity of it, and then the fact of after the match, one, he doesn't even realize they've won. He's trying to figure out what happened the whole time, and then when they're celebrating, they do the joke stereotypical switcheroo, and he's on Beth's shoulders, and Beth's carrying him around like he's the hero that saved the day. When, as DDB was discussing, he did nothing this whole match, like get beat up by Mickey James. So it should have been a bigger, more memorable moment, but I don't think it is, in my opinion.
Huh. I mean, Santino always has a moment, and he had a very long career, and I really enjoyed Santino.
Yeah, I love the guy, like I said, but
If everybody could
comedy
mute,
overshadowed.
if everybody could mute their mics, because I'm actually going to share a fun moment about Santino Morelli. If everybody could just mute their mics really quick, because there's a reason why, and you'll see in a minute. It was a pandemic. I was stuck in my house. I used to be a bartender. Everything was shut down. I was kind of like down in my dumps, not feeling good. It was my birthday, and even worse, it was my birthday during the pandemic where I couldn't go anywhere. And one of my friends decided to do something very nice to me. And Santino's always been a wrestler I liked. Always liked fun, goofy wrestlers who had a good time. And I just want to share this with everyone out there who's watching the podcast. And I just want to share everybody something. I think everybody can see me. And I want to unplug this real quick. All right, here we go.
Hey, Malachimbi. It's me, Santino. Malachimbi. That's fun to say. Hey, you, big wrestling fan guy, huh? Very nice. I tell you.
Sorry. Whoop, hit the Siri button.
Very nice. I tell you one thing that I can never forget. 2011, I was so close to winning the Royal Rumble. It's make me sick every time I think about it. Right now, we are in the quarantines. These are the times of the quarter. So we have to be strong. Touch one another. No, do not touch. Support one another. Not touching each other. You can get big trouble these days. But you are a big wrestling fan, and I want to say to you, good luck in your fantasy wrestling league. Malachimbi, you can do it. And one more thing, Malachimbi, you're a son of a gun. Hey,
I just wanted to share that with everybody and show something because I actually, when I was watching this match, I was like, man, I have something from Santino Morelli. I have an autograph, and I was like, oh, I have a cameo from him. So I just wanted to show everybody and share that with everybody before we move on. That's all.
I have known you, Malachimbi Jones, for almost an entire year now. And you have always talked about this video, and I have never seen it. And I loved it. It was so
There you
funny.
go. Right?
Yeah,
It's going to be great to go back and watch.
awesome.
Right?
was
Somebody
adorable.
did that. Yeah, right.
That
Somebody
was
did that for
awesome.
my birthday. I will always be thankful to them for doing that because 2020 is rough. Anyway, this match with Santino, you know,
Oh my God.
it was great. Yeah, I love hearing that too. It's my favorite catchphrase he does. Son of a gun. It was a really good match and it was fun. But I want to hear from my guests about any other mid card matches that they enjoyed, or if they're like these were the only ones I liked. Let's hear about it. So I'm going to call on you first, Joe Dallas. What other mid card matches did you like at this event? You can say one if you don't mind, so everybody can get a chance.
The other one would probably be John Cena Batista. Is that considered mid card, or is that?
I mean, at this time, I mean, it's hard to say with this event. With SummerSlam, it's always hard. I say if you're not the main event, if you're not the main event or the match before the main event, or something that everybody remembers, then you might be a mid card. So maybe this match is mid card. Let me turn my camera off here. Sorry, everyone. So I don't know. What do you? Let's actually poll Dunbar and DDB. What do you guys think that the John Cena Batista match was a mid card match? Dunbar, excuse me.
I mean, like you said, hard to say by the criteria you put forth. I would say no because it was the match before the main event. it was the second to last match that went on. I mean, if you're gonna present this as a double co-headline, that would have been the second co-headline. But quite frankly, by that logic, there's only one other mid card match on this entire show because everything else was either for a title or at the end of the night.
Well,
So
we'll talk to that about that in a minute. DDB, do you think this match also the Batista John Cena match? You think was a mid card match?
I would classify this as a mid card because you do have main event caliber matches that are mid card. I would classify this as a main event caliber mid card match.
I mean, I think there's two reasons
fair
why
point.
it's mid card. It's not for the belt, and also this match didn't get the best reviews. So I think Joe, you picked a good match that is a mid card match. Did you enjoy this match after you watched it, Joe?
I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to because I don't like Batista and I don't like John Cena. I didn't like John Cena at that time anyway. So I was pleasantly surprised by the actual match and the fact that John Cena lost, that was another kind of surprise to me because like I had said before, I'd never seen the SummerSlam before somehow. But I liked that Batista went over, even though I was not a fan of his. But
I
yeah,
have a couple of facts about this.
of course you do.
Oh no, the robot has facts. Who would have thought?
What's up? What's up, robot? What you got for me, factual robot DDB? What you got
So,
for me?
first of all, this is the first time John Cena and Batista in a WWE ring, by the way, in a one-on-one match, ever faced each other. This was the first time they ever went head-to-head.
Well, okay, head to head, fine. There was Royal Rumble and stuff like that, but this, okay, yes.
I
Yeah, I'll
said
give you that.
match. I said one-on-one match.
Okay.
Like, they never had there was no tag team matches or anything like that. This is the first time they ever went one-on-one. But the thing is also two other things about this match. John Cena ended up injuring his shoulder in this match, if people forgot about. He actually ended up having to go have surgery after. And then on top of this, there's another thing. You know me, Mala Chimmy Jones. I love to do my deep dive into the world of wrestling. Deep, deep, deep dive. John Cena was supposed to go over in this match. You want to know why they chose Batista? Before SummerSlam, they put out one of those, you guys all remember it. WWE would be sending y'all text messages if you signed up on the WWE.com when the WWE.com was actually cool. Um,
Sound like
but
such a boomer right now.
they, they sent out a text message before SummerSlam asking who is more popular, John Cena or Batista. John Cena got an overwhelming number of votes, and they wanted Batista to try to be on the same caliber as John Cena. That's why they chose Batista to go over in this match, to try to get him more popular.
I'm sorry, but Batista will never be on the same level as John Cena. I don't care what anybody says. He will never be on the same level as John Cena.
His acting career will.
His acting career will, absolutely. But wrestling wise, hell no. John Cena might kill it with another Peacemaker. Apparently, it might be a Peacemaker movie. Joe, I like that you picked this match as a mid card. I 100% agree it's a mid card. Wasn't for the belt. This is something, a tag match happened and John Cena messed up and Batista got all like and they decided to have this match. And it was cool actually because this is kind of a face versus face. Like Batista didn't do like a Rey Mysterio kind of snap. So I'm happy you picked this match. Thank you. Dumb Bear, what mid card match you got for me? It sounds like you're frothing at the mouth for mid card to talk about a match on this card. What do you got for me?
I mean, if you're making me pick one that I liked, there's only one other one that I liked, and that would be CM Punk versus JBL. That was far better than it had any right to be, far more hard hitting than I expected it to be. I don't know why I wouldn't expect it from JBL in any kind of match because that's just what he does. But this was a very no nonsense, just two hosses going at it, beating the crap out of each other, and it I think this was one of the better matches on the card as well. Like it doesn't get enough respect in hindsight, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, I think that this match should have been lower. I think this match could have opened the show. Put it that way. I don't think it's a bad match, but I think it's a match to get the crowd going. And JBL's hard hitting. You got the legendary, at this time, the beginning legends of CM Punk with titles. I'm not against this match. I think it is a mid card match. I think it's very close to a mid card match. I think the issue with it is the belt, but there's a lot of matches with belts or mid card. So
And that's what
I
I mean. Like
was
between a rock and a hard place, that's just kind of where I have to land as far as what mid card to pick from.
I wasn't against this match. I just didn't like. I don't know. At some point in CM Punk's career, like when he first starts his rising up, he kind of is wrestling a little different. He's not as aggressive, and I'm always like, about that. Um,
I
Joe
didn't like
Dallas.
this
Oh,
match.
what's this?
I didn't like this match.
Oh, what was the reason? Let's talk about it.
They built this match upon new school versus old school. I mean, that's basically what the rivalry between CM Punk versus JBL was. And it, granted, the shiner in this match was JBL by far. I can count on 5 hands basically how many offensive moves basically CM Punk got in this match, and then he did like a reversal into a GTS, and that was basically it just to win the match. It
Well,
sucked.
isn't CM Punk like very green at this point? Isn't JBL the veteran? Shouldn't he be carrying the match? Don't you kind of believe in that?
Yes, but at the same time, considering you're the world heavyweight champion in this match,
Uh-huh.
because JBL wasn't the world champion, CM Punk was. And yes, he was kind of green, but at this point, he's already been in ECW for a while. Or not ECW, he's already been on the main roster for a while. But the thing is, this was probably one of CM Punk's worst matches. And
Hmm.
I didn't enjoy it because it was literally just JBL being a brawler and beating the shit out of CM Punk, and CM Punk getting a lucky victory. That's basically what I chalked this matchup to be. I didn't like it. I legit put the women or the winner take all match over this.
Okay. Dunbar.
Punk was
To
new to the
piggyback
company.
off of her
He's not
answer. Oh, go
green
ahead,
by any
please. Go
means.
ahead.
He was new to the company, but he's not green by any means. He was before he even became the star of the WWE ECW. He was one of the biggest indie stars in the country. So I mean, he's not new to the business. He's just new to the company. So I mean, there is that. But you were saying,
Well, to also come off that, do you think maybe he did need to be like maybe they wanted just because we don't think he's new, like you're saying, like he's not new to wrestling and this and that. Maybe he's new to the company. Maybe the company told him, look, JBL is going to wear you out for a little bit, but you're going to win the match. Maybe that's what they said because maybe they were kind of like, hey, we don't want you to mess up. We want you to succeed. We don't like. Do you get what I'm saying? In a way, like, hey, we want you
well,
to
I mean,
follow. We want you to follow along with this veteran so you don't fail.
I absolutely, I'm not saying DDB is wrong at all because that is exactly how the match played out. But that, to me, that was the story of the match. That's old school, just knocking the crap out of the new kid, and the
But
new kid pulling it out at the end.
I can understand that logic with the whole because like I said, the match was built upon new school versus old school. And that's exactly why JBL basically ended up going after the World Heavyweight Championship against CM Punk because he didn't like that. He didn't like the avenue WWE was going, technically, in a sense. That's basically what JBL said. And they built this upon it being new school versus old school. And even the commentators had commented on it basically all match long, new school versus old school. You would think in such a high profile match where you're trying to basically put two entities, two generational superstars against each other in a match, you would think it's going to be a lot more hard hitting. Well, granted, let's just be honest. JBL's hits were more hard hitting than this match. You would think CM Punk would have a little bit more offense in this match, being new school and trying to show what the new school has. Because in this aspect, it's like basically looking at it, I'm like definitely going back and I'm watching, I'm like, why did I think WWE was going to go anywhere after this match if you're doing this with New School where they just get lucky victories? Like, that's kind of stupid. You would
Well,
think
there's
that they
also
would want CM Punk to put on the best match of his career against the legend as JBL, who, let's just be honest, even though JBL is the older generation in this match, JBL was still kicking ass. Like he's not
Yeah.
showing age in this match. So you would
He's not
think,
at this point. He's not that far away from like getting close to retirement, though. He's getting a little bit closer. Like not, he's not like 15 years away from it, but he's getting very like closer to it at this point.
yeah,
So
and
but
there's also the outside idea that during this match they did have a pretty nasty collision that opened up Punk the hard way in the back of his head,
hmm
and there is the possibility that they kind of switch things up to play it safer from that point to get him out of there safely. We don't know for sure, but that there was a legitimate busted open on the back of Punk's skull there.
yeah, I didn't even know that until you just mentioned that because I kind of remember seeing a little bit of like red stuff on CM Punk's hand, just like a tiny bit, kind of it was noticeable, but it wasn't so noticeable that I realized he had a head injury. That's how, to me, that's how minuscule that was.
no. That's called the peacock effect, Barb. That's called peacock being like, oh, is there blood there? We're gonna clean it up and take it away now. Oh, is there Roddy Piper maybe doing something kind of wild that we don't like? We're gonna delete that. That's the peacock effect. Joe Dallas. It sounds like
WrestleMania.
Barb. Oh, go ahead, Dunbar. Are we gonna say something?
I was just making a joke. WrestleMania 7.
Yeah.
Most of
Yep.
Piper stuff is cut out.
Okay. We're gonna cut all that out. WrestleMania 7. Cut it all out, Roddy Piper. Joe Dallas. It sounds like Barb didn't like this match. She's not a fan. Are you a fan of this match, Batista? I'm not Batista. I'm having a brain fart. It's hot. Sorry. Um,
Yeah, CM Punk and JBL.
yes, CM Punk JBL. Excuse me. It's
Yeah,
really hot where I'm at.
I didn't hate it. I mean, it was good enough, but I didn't. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite match, but it wasn't the worst one either. So
All right, that makes sense. Barb, do you have a mid card match that neither one of us, that nobody on the show has talked about as of yet?
We'll just say this, like the mid card was so underwhelming to me. I didn't enjoy the undercard. So I'll just kind of basically something that I'll do is I'll go opposite of what everybody said about matches that they kind of liked. I'm just going to talk about the match that I hated the fucking most, which was Mark Henry, the ECW champion, versus Matt Hardy. This match lasted 33 seconds because Tony Atlas got Mark Henry disqualified. So Matt Hardy won the match, but he didn't win the title in this. And I'll just say this, I enjoyed the after effects of this match so much more than what I did enjoy the match. Jeff Hardy coming to the aid of his brother Matt and them reuniting. And then them delivering a double suplex to a 380-pound Mark Henry was beautiful. And I liked that. So it kind of definitely give the loser of Jeff Hardy and technically the loser of Matt Hardy, they came out on top at the end of the night. So I kind of like that.
Somebody gonna get their ass kicked. Somebody gonna
He
get
got
their
it back.
head breaks. I love that song, and this is a squash match of the night. I mean, come on. Do you think Matt Hardy was going to really beat Mark Henry at this point? Mark Henry with Tony Atlas, beasting up, having the not real ECW World Heavyweight Championship. It's this match.
Well, that's just it. A week prior to this, Matt Hardy did beat him.
Wait, say that
So
again?
That's just it. A week before this event, Matt Hardy did beat Mark Henry. That's why he
You're
got the
right.
match.
Yeah, but he wasn't going to win for the belt. Once you put Mark Henry out there, he's just like, nope, I'm going to squish you, and he squished him, and he hit the World Strongest Slam, and it was like, good night, get out of here,
the
hit the
match,
road.
the match,
That's
the
not
match,
even happening.
Hold on, Joe
Wait.
Dallas. Hold on, Joe Dallas. What's up, Joe
the
Dallas?
match did do one thing though. It proved that WWE looks at Jeff Hardy as a bigger star than Matt. Because when they were celebrating after the match, whose music was playing? Jeff Hardy's music was playing, not Matt's. And Matt's the one who apparently won the match. That was the biggest thing I took from that match is they look at Matt Hardy and say, oh, nope, Jeff is the bigger star.
There are so many things about this match that piss me off to no end, and oh my god, I hated this match so much. But for all reasons that I'm sure are opposite from all of you, I'm certain of it.
That Tony Atlas got more moves in than anybody out there.
Let's just face it. The ECW history that the WWE try to do, that should just be erased. They should just erase it, take it off my Wikipedia page. It wasn't good. It wasn't great. Let's move on.
See, and
We
that's
talked
one
about
of the
mid
things
cards.
that's the opposite because I enjoyed WWE's version
No,
of ECW. I
no, no,
like it.
no. I enjoyed the original ECW. That's where it was at. That's my favorite. You can like what you like. I always say everyone's entitled to their own opinion of wrestling. Like what you like. Enjoy pro wrestling. That's my favorite thing that we can all enjoy together. Let's move on to this show stealer, and I'm gonna have a different answer than maybe what other people say, and I want to say about it now. I don't think the show stealer for this event was a match, and I think it was because of a different reason that it stole the show, and I'm talking about when Shawn Michaels came out with his wife Rebecca to the ring. He came out to announce because of medical issues where he's talked to doctors and surgeons that he finally has to retire. And Chris Jericho came out to the ring and said, I want you to say that I'm the reason that you retire. And Shawn Michaels just kept needling him and needling him and needling him until Shawn Michaels wound back and tried to punch Chris Jericho and missed and hit his wife. And this is like, besides kind of Sarah, Undertaker's ex-wife, this is kind of the first time, like Miss Elizabeth didn't get involved in stuff like this. She didn't get involved. She kind of stayed off to the side, chilling. Maybe sensational Sherry Lou and Vashon, but this is the first time that somebody's not a manager, somebody's like real wife, got hit in the face with a punch. DDB, what did you think of this moment as it
I
goes?
actually, I actually enjoyed this match, or well, not this match, this moment, because it was like the what HBK said to Chris Jericho basically about talking about Chris Jericho's kids. It was just so ruthless and everything that you could go tell your kids that Daddy Y2J would never beat HBK. And then they go to leave, and then all of a sudden, I think her name's Rebecca, literally is on the ground, and she got hit that freaking hard that I'm pretty sure she got knocked the F out. Like, and you could see, because like Dunbar said earlier in the show, that she got hit so hard that backstage was a clusterfuck backstage. And she legit had to say, was that your best shot, just to ease the tension between these guys? But looking at Chris Jericho's face, he had that menacing look, but at the same time, like, you could see behind his look, like, oh fuck, I hope I didn't hurt her. So it's kind of a little like heartwarming at the same time. It's just like he still was able to kind of reel it back, because he fucked up, but at the same time he reeled it back and stuff like that. But I I enjoyed it, and I have to agree. For the undercard, it was the highlight of the night, and I have to agree with you. This was the showstopper of the whole event. And I'll tell you why later on too, but it was the showstopper. No pun intended with it being HBK and him being the showstopper.
The showstopper in the show stealer. I love it. Um, Dunbar, do you think this was also the steal the show moment of SummerSlam 2008?
I This is a decent segue here. In it, I'm gonna do a little bit of a shameless self plug. So I had my first uh, Dropkick Diaries is the name of the show that I'm doing on Chair Shots last Tuesday, and I bring up during that show I was reviewing Starcade '97, and there's a promo bit inside of that show as well, and I talk about it is such a rare occurrence where I believe that a promo segment belongs on a pay-per-view. I just think they're better suited for the go home shows or the week after shows. And this one is the same for me. I don't think it should have been on the card at all. It it slows down an already slow pay-per-view. And then the fact that it didn't go off as well as they wanted it to just kind of killed it for me. Um, I've I'm also kind of biased against Shawn. I've never been a Shawn Michaels guy, and it just kind of feels like he's trying to overtake or overshadow the rest of the card. And to me, it didn't fit. I didn't like it, and it didn't jive.
Hey, that's fine. If you didn't like that moment, that's fine. I understand. I understand. I'm going to come back to you because I do want to hear if you have a moment on this that did steal the show for you. We're going to come back to you, Joe Dallas. Was this something that you either like? I'm trying to think of something that's good. Like a good funny moment, meaning like okay, like the silly things they did in NXT where it was like sing a song or do this jumping jacks thing. Do you think this was kind of on that level? Do you think it was something silly, Joe Dallas, that they didn't need to have on the pay-per-view, or do you think it was something to hopefully make the next match with Chris Jericho Shawn Michaels really mean something?
I think that's more what it was. It was the whole thing was basically to make the feud that much more vicious or whatever. And obviously there was an accident there where she actually got hit, which you know it's not ballet, so it's gonna happen every once in a while. But I actually enjoyed the segment, and I actually enjoyed the fact that Shawn Michaels was standing there without with a microphone on and wasn't crying for once. Because every time he grabs a microphone when he's about to retire, he was crying, like when he lost his smile. So it was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I didn't even think about him not crying. That's so funny. I'm happy you enjoyed it. But Diamond Dallas Barb, it sounds like she's on the same page as me, where this was the show stealer. Dunbar or Dumb. I have to get better at that. Keep counting on this episode, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to how many times I will mess that up. But I'm gonna get better at it right now. Dunbar was was there another moment that stole the show for you besides the main event?
As far as this show goes, it didn't take much to steal it, and I would have to go with the only title change that we see, and that's the Glamorella taking both belts and a winner take all.
Okay, that's not a bad show stealer. The first time ever, winner take all for those belts, which is amazing. Joe Dallas, did you think that this Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho, Rebecca getting I can't believe Shawn Michaels didn't like pull his punch. I hope he didn't want to do that. He was like, you know what? Let's make an angle where I hit my wife. Like, yo, 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 yo. Don't do that, Sean. Chill out. But do you think that this was a show stealer? This angle, this story, this segment they had at SummerSlam 2008, Joe Dallas, or do you have another moment?
I mean, sadly, with what's happened already on the card at that point, I think that would be the show stealer. And the only other option, I think, would be what Dunbar said. But I'm going to go with Shawn Michaels and Jericho because there wasn't much else on this card.
Yeah, there wasn't much else on this card. I mean, you could pick Triple H and Great Khali, but I don't think that's.
I'm never going to pick anything with the Great Khali.
Yeah, I'm not going to pick Great Khali or anything. I mean, I'm just saying with the match card, the other matches you had, there's not too much else. There's not anything that's like a crazy stipulation or anything like that. I
I
mean,
almost thought we were going to get through this whole episode without saying his name.
oh, I'm sorry. I I,
I'm just
I didn't say his manager's name. If you want me to say Ranjan Singh, and that is
Run
probably a name.
thing.
Wait, little plug. That's probably. Oh, look, Barb even has it right. It's probably a name you want to remember if you ever go to Chair Shots and play a trivia game with our wonderful hosts that we have, DDB, Dunbear, and Joe Dallas. So please go to Chair Shots, subscribe, and love it. Here's the main event of SummerSlam 2008. It is a long storyline with, honestly, the person who's the most important main character in this storyline is Vicky Guerrero. Vicky Guerrero and Edge supposed to get married, and see Edge was cheating on her with Alicia Fox. Vicky Guerrero's GM. She reinstates the Undertaker, and they have a Hell in a Cell match. And if you're listening to this and you're part of my family, hello. Or if you're somebody that I work with, hello. And you're like, what the heck is a Hell in a Cell? Well, it's a steel cage that comes over the ring that has a roof that they can climb on. Oh, yeah. Somebody's been thrown off of it. That's what it is. I'm going to ask you first, Joe Dallas. Where does this Hell in a Cell match stand to you in the history of Hell in a Cells?
It's definitely not like it's a decent Hell in a Cell. There's definitely been better. There's definitely been worse. So it's kind of like right in the middle. I mean, it had a couple of really good moments in there, like the ending where he got slammed through the or choke slammed through the mat and everything. But Undertaker has had better Hell in the Cell matches. Edge has had better Hell in the Cell matches. So it's kind of right in the middle, I think.
All right, middle of the pack. I don't think it's too crazy over the top. I think it was cool to see that this is kind of like one of those matches, just like the buried alive match and the casket match, that's kind of synonymous with being the Undertaker's match. Dunbar, do you think that this match should have gone for as long as it went? I mean, all the other matches on this card are like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 33 seconds, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 13 minutes. And then this match went 26 minutes and 44 seconds. Do you think they should have went that long?
Let's break out my best Southern accent here. Bless the hearts, they tried. No, this match should not have gone for as long as it did whatsoever. They needed the spectacle for this card, and this that it was supposed to be. But I mean, like Joe said, this is very much middle of the pack Hell in a Cell. It's middle of the pack for Taker. It's middle of the pack for Edge. It's middle of the pack from their feud, even. It's not even the best match they had in this feud. And it's very much average in every conceivable category you can put it up in.
To piggyback off what you said, like what makes this average? I mean, they had a ladder, they had chairs, they were in the Hell in a Cell. Like what were you looking for? Do you want to see Edge like choke slammed off the cage? Is that what you're looking for more
I
out of
mean,
this match?
it's not that I have the bloodlust to see that, but at this point in the history of Hell in a Cell, that's what the WWE had conditioned their fan base to see for Hell in a Cell, and it simply didn't happen. What they gave us instead of that big drop was the chokeslam off the ladder through the ring with the fireball,
Yep.
and even that was to me looked horrible because that I have never seen a more contrived setup for a move from a ladder in my life. Like Edge is standing on that ladder on his own, under his own power for a good 3, maybe 4 minutes, while Undertaker sets up a second ladder to climb up, and then I mean they even cut away from the chokeslam itself. He kind of just falls. He doesn't get chokeslam. He just gets pushes by his throat a little bit. It looks bad. The fire was well done. I mean, because I mean, how do you really mess up fire for the most part? But Edge had enough time to conceivably had enough time to get out of the way, roll out from under the ring before the fireball came up. But it just, I don't think it hit the way they wanted it to hit, and it certainly wasn't what they had conditioned the fan base to see from a Hell in a Cell at that point. Especially when you're starting off the PG era with Hell in a Cell. I don't know. The factors just didn't really seem to mesh together, in my opinion.
All right. I'm not against that opinion. I'm going to talk about my own thoughts when we get to the end, but I'm going to get to DDB because I have a great question for you. And my question is this, besides Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho, this is the longest feud for not the longest, excuse me. This is the last feud, the last of two feuds, meaning Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels and Undertaker and Edge. This is the last feud from the Ruthless Aggression. This was a year-long feud that they had, but in my opinion, and I want to hear your opinion on this, I think that the Undertaker as a challenger for Edge didn't really help Edge's career. Like, there's very few things I remember that Edge did momentous. I think he did more against John Cena. He did more against the Hardys. With Undertaker, I think he was taking a lot of L's. But Diamond Dallas Park, do you feel that way?
I mean, I could definitely see that with what you're saying, but when I think it, especially top three Edge feuds, Undertaker's up there. Undertaker is one of those feuds that is synonymous with Edge that I fully remember. I fully remember this feud. And I loved basically every moment of it, especially when, like, the culmination right before this with Vicky Guerrero bringing him back and him literally Edge, like, basically, let's just get on with our marriage. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And Vicky's like, I did something bad that you're not gonna like. I brought back the Undertaker. And then Edge is like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. We'll just go on our merry way, blah blah blah. He was like, but I booked you in a match against the Undertaker. And he's like, oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. We'll just we'll just we'll get it figured out and we'll just go on our merry way. It's inside Hell in a Cell. And then Edge basically having to go into this dark mental state to go into this match. And I remember, like, one of the things I remember about this feud, him totally fucking destroying Mick Foley. And him basically saying, this is where I need to be to go beat Undertaker. And yeah, he did take L's. He did take a lot of L's against Undertaker in this feud. But this feud was fucking phenomenal. The stuff that they did between Edge and between The Undertaker, I loved. And I wish this match would have happened a little bit prior because, like you said, with the PG era and everything like that, I felt this match would have hit better in the Ruthless Aggression era.
Oh.
I
You
really
s-
do think so.
One question I would ask you: you said that this match was awesome. Who was like this feud was awesome? Who was the feud awesome for? Was it awesome for Edge? Or you can't say both. I want to hear one or the other. Was it awesome for Edge or was it awesome for the Undertaker?
I mean, in hindsight, looking at it, yeah, you're gonna have to go with the Undertaker.
Okay.
But at the same time, overall, yes, the Undertaker. But I do believe that it did help Edge's career in a sense. Not as much as it helped the Undertaker's career, but it definitely helped. It definitely helped Edge. It definitely helped Edge.
I think at that point in his career, Undertaker was already legend. I think he could have took a loss to Edge, and like Dunbar said, with the whole fire thing, it was kind of like silliness. Like, why are we doing this at the end of the match? I think it would have been cooler to see Edge like spear him through the cage twice, throw him back in the ring, and pin him 1, 2, 3. Um,
But
I don't know. I just
here's
feel like
I'll give you another fun fact about this match,
go ahead.
which I was hoping you would kind of let me talk about the match itself. Like these guys said, this is by far not the greatest Hell in a Cell match. It was decent. It was decent. It is one of the better Hell in a Cell matches, out of all the Hell in a Cell matches, but like if I have to look at it, it barely hits my top 10. Like it barely does. Because there is some awesome spots in this match. But what would have made it awesomer, like Dunbar said, they conditioned the fans for bigger moments in Hell in a Cell. And Edge wanted a bigger moment in this Hell in a Cell. And he told the producers, he told Vince, I want to be tombstoned on the top of the steel cage. And they nixed it. They didn't want to do it. And that right there literally shut down this entire match because you didn't have it. You didn't have that moment. And it would have hit better if they even had that, just that one moment. And with this match, I feel like you were talking about, oh, did it deserve to even go this far? No, it didn't deserve to go this far in this lengthwise because 90% of this freaking match was literally them just walking around and setting up the spots. It wasn't a fluid setup. You know, like a lot of these matches, like you naturally just it's a natural progression that you're going to start setting up. Like take for instance, I'll just quickly hit on another kind of Hell in a Cell match real quick that I believe beat this one. It was Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. Their Hell in a Cell match, it was fluid. They were setting up spots for later on in the match while they were going through the match. So the thing is, it's like I feel that it was just so clunky with them just grabbing things and just setting up. And if the whole match was them just literally beating the crap out of each other, it would have been so much more better hitting that 26 mark. But the actual wrestling aspect of it was legit less than the Triple H match. And it's sad.
And I'm gonna actually comment on what you're talking about right now because I really have something great to say. I think the reason that the setups that you're talking about this took so long to do is because of the Undertaker. Edge got to make him look good. He's a top guy. He's Vince McMahon's dude. Also, don't injure him because if you injure him, who knows what could happen? You could be fired. You could be released. Make sure he wins. Make sure he looks good. And I think that's not the way it should have been. It should have been the other way around. It should be, hey Undertaker, make Edge look good. Edge is coming up. He's when you're gonna be retired or something. Your back hurts. You're gonna take time off. Edge is gonna be taking the reins. And I think that I think this match should have went different. I think, like I said, I think the winner of the match should have been Edge. I know Edge. You said Edge wanted to take that tombstone. Edge wants to always do crazy things. He's a fan of the game, just like we are. And I think that that shows right there. When you're a huge wrestling fan, you want to do moments that no one's ever seen. So then you can maybe be in the books, be in people's minds, and that's probably why he wanted to do that. But he should have just been worried about winning the match because he at this point, Undertaker wasn't the future. Edge was the future.
Well, to that point, Crouchant, Edge was Edge was hurt. He was. This was him being written off of television. That was the whole idea. He was
It was
gone for 3 months after this.
it was actually a way to write both of these men off because Undertaker took 8 months off after this match as well.
You know, and that's the thing too. If they're both taking time off, then why didn't Edge win the match? Why not give it to the new guy that's trying to do something? Yeah, he might be injured, but make it. Why not go? There's so many wrestlers who got injured in a match and won the match in the end. Why not give it to Edge? Why do you have to give it to the Undertaker? Where it's 2008. He's not. When did he retire? 2014, 2013, maybe. Am I wrong? What year? Does anyone know? Robot, do you know? Diamond Dallas Bar?
I think it was 2013.
Okay, so only not that like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 5 years later. Why not let the guy that's going to win like Edge who can actually have a long career, and that's a huge thing. You beat the Undertaker in the Hell in the Cell. I just felt it went a different way. I'm not against the main event. I think the
I
time
double
was too
checked.
much
It was
with it.
2011.
What's that?
It was 2011.
Even more. 3 years. 3 years, and he didn't let Edge win the belt. I feel like this match could have been shorter. I think that the reason that Matt Hardy's match only got 33 seconds was because this match had to be so long, and I think it could have been shorter. And I think there could have been a different winner. I just might winner with that. Does anybody have any comments to say about this match that didn't get the chance to say anything?
No.
No.
No, we covered it.
We covered SummerSlam 2008. If you're listening to this far, please hit the subscribe button and please go on to TikTok and subscribe. And here's the last question I'm going to ask everybody. We're going to do 5 episodes. This is the first one. This was number 5 on the WWE.com SummerSlam list. I'll start with you, Joe Dallas. Do you think they got it right or do you think they got it wrong? Do you think, yay, this should be number 5? There's no other SummerSlams that could have taken this spot at number 5? Or do you think, nay, or excuse me, yay, this is good on this spot, or nay, this is not good. There should have been something to replace it. What do you think?
Definitely nay. There's definitely better SummerSlams that could have been in that 5 position over this one. Not sure which ones they would be right off the top of my head. I have to do some research on that. But
That's
there's
fine. That's fine. There's a lot
gotta
of
be
SummerSlams. What do you think
gotta
this was
be better
missing?
ones.
What do you think this? But give one aspect to the show that you think was something that was missing on the show.
There wasn't a lot of like great matches. Like you had a lot of kind of just mid matches, honestly. Like when I first turned this thing on and they were like running down the card, I'm like, Cena Batista, okay. CM Punk versus Bradshaw, okay. I'm just like, and friggin' Triple H versus Great Khali, none of these matches like really drew me in to want to watch this. I'm like, if we weren't doing this episode tonight, I never would have watched this SummerSlam.
Don't sounds like Joe is one nay for this episode. There should have been another one on here, and that's
Definitely a
fine.
nay.
That's fine. Done Bear. Who do you think? What do you think about this? Should this be a nay or a yay? Would you replace it on the list? What do you think?
This, I mean, if we're looking at the list that WWE.com put out, even if we're only keeping those 10, this is number 10. This is definitely a nay for number 5. Easily a nay for me. And if we're talking about SummerSlams from not that list that I would put on, I can think of 2 off the top of my head. I mean, this one just doesn't belong anywhere near a top 10 list of SummerSlams. Period for me. It just doesn't work.
Well, don't keep me guessing which two SummerSlams you would replace it with. Please tell me. I gotta know.
Oh, 88 for one. Easily 88 goes over it.
Okay.
And I would put, um, I don't know when that list was made, so this one might not have counted, but I would have put last year's above this one.
Last year wasn't too bad. I mean, mm, it's always hard with the this new generation with SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam gets lost sometimes, but 88's a great pick. I think is 88's Mega Powers
Yeah,
versus DiBiase and Andre, and then you also had the debut of the Ultimate Warrior on pay-per-view, correct?
I believe it was his first one. Yeah.
Yeah, ran out and destroyed the Honky Tonk Man. I like both of them. I love SummerSlam. Great event. So many things you can talk about. So many great events at SummerSlam. DDB, yay or nay on this event? What do you think? Let's hear your thoughts.
Nay, I wouldn't even put this in the top 10. Like, it seriously was so lackluster. So lackluster. The undercard, crap. I mean, some of the things that they could have changed. Give Triple H a different damn opponent for the World Heavyweight Championship. The dude literally couldn't even get put in the pedigree. That's how tall he was. But also he was just so clunky in the ring. It's like he could it, the Great Khali is basically the 2000s almost. He's just there as a big guy. He should not be wrestling in the world heavyweight title picture. Granted, we're also talking about a former world heavyweight champion, so that's kind of it's kind of funny in the hindsight because he never should have been a world champion. But it was really bad and it didn't stand the test of time. Granted, at that time, maybe it was a great SummerSlam, maybe, but I don't even think so because there was like before 2008 there was a good 10 other pay-per-views that were better. But now looking at almost 20 years later, there's plenty of other SummerSlams. One, for instance, which I would have put in this spot was 2022. 2022 SummerSlam was way better. And even if you just look at the main event, straight up 2022's was way better than the Hell in a Cell with Brock Lesnar literally tipping over the entire freaking ring with a tractor. And it didn't stand the test of time. It shouldn't even be in the top 10. And like Dumbear said, if you just have to place it on this list with what they put out, it would have been 10.
Mm. I don't know how I feel about the Brock Lesnar moment. I'm not a big fan of that. I get
I
why you
think,
say it's something different.
That
I
was
think the
cinema.
reason why I think the reason why was because, fun fact, I was actually at that SummerSlam.
Oh,
I'm not saying, oh, it's because I went to that SummerSlam. It's because when you are there, it hits so much bigger than even on TV. And I had more emotions being there than I was rewatching it. But still, even rewatching it, it was so much better. You had returns at that SummerSlam. You had the Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair match that was so amazing. You had you had some amazing matches there that were way better than anything on the card.
Hmm.
Like just the women's match, just take for instance the women's match was better than any of the undercard on this main event. I would even say it was better than the Hell in a Cell match. That's how bad it was.
Maybe next summer we'll have to do a season 2 of this because that didn't make the list, sadly. But to this match, that was match number 5 on the WWE.com best SummerSlam events of all time. I think this is an A. One event that I would put on here that we don't have on the list is SummerSlam '93. Yes, Lex Luger, Yokozuna, we all know that was, but all the other matches hit. Shawn Michaels, Mr. Perfect was great. The Jerry Lawler, Bret Hart, Doink the Clown fiasco was amazing. The tag matches they had with the Heavenly Bodies and Steiner Brothers, and then the 6-man tag with Bam Bam, or Bam Bam, the Head Shrinkers versus the Smoking Guns of Tonka was crazy, a great event. And I think that this event, it feels like WWE might have been at this time going through some changes. People having injuries, other people having issues. Like Barb said, Undertaker was injured, was injured out of action 8 months, and then Edge also took time off, and John Cena took time. John Cena also got injured during his match, so maybe at this point they were at a crossroads. But I feel a lot of these matches could have went longer. CM Punk JBL got 10 minutes. John Cena Batista got 10 minutes. Hell in a Cell does not need to be a long match. You can set up certain spots and have it be a great match. If it's 26 minutes and your other matches are 10 minutes, sorry, it's going to be a no for me. It's not going to be good. This was our first episode in the SummerSlam series. We'll be doing 5 episodes. This is episode number 1. We have 4 left. And to give everybody a preview, the next episode will be SummerSlam 1998. That's right. I'm Molly Chimby Jones, and this has been the Chant Chronicles. Please follow Chair Shots on TikTok. But I want my guests to say goodbye and say whatever they want to say after that. Joe Dallas, thanks for coming. What do you got to say to everybody?
Once again, thank you for having me on here. Make sure Monday night, even before I go on, we are trying to do something to get the lovely Allie on an episode of the Chant Chronicles here. We're trying to get her on one of these episodes. So we need everybody listening to come into her live 35 minutes before Raw starts to tap the screen until your fingers bleed. We need to get as close to 100K in that short amount of time as possible. Because we want to get Allie on one of these episodes, and that's the only way I could get her to agree to do it. So come into her live on Monday, up your alley, and tap the screen.
Yes, Allie, a wonderful member also of the Chair Shots community, who said that I'm nervous, I'm scared. I said, don't be scared. Come to the podcast, have fun. And she said, if you get 100,000 taps in 30 minutes or 35, I think we have now, she'll come be on it. So get ready, everyone. Please come there Monday, 7:25. I think she's going on now, where I'm going to break my fingers and my thumb and smash my phone. Who knows what's going to happen? I probably won't have a phone after it's over. People are going to find a way to contact me and be like, look, she's doing it. Dunbar. Here I go. I'm going to try this. Merci de la terre sur les podcasts des Chronicles du Chant de la Fau. How'd I do?
Interesting. Not bad. Not bad.
Okay, so what I
There you
meant to say
go.
to Dunbar was thank you for being on the Crowd Chant Chronicles podcast. I know he likes French, so I'm trying something there. Dunbar, thank you for always being on this episode, being on any episode that you're on. You always are a great insight to it, and you always stick by your guns, and I like that. I like when people are like, "I don't like this wrestler, I don't like that wrestler, and here's where I stand by." It. I like that. Thank you for being on the show. What do you got to tell everybody out there?
Uh, First thing, merci beaucoup, mon frère. Uh, but it's, yeah, just what Joe Dallas was talking about to piggyback off of him. I'm the last person to try to bully Ali into anything, but I think it would be really cool to have the current four GMs of Chair Shots on one episode here. So I'm gonna try and help out as well. But yeah, as far as myself goes, like I was saying, Dunbar's Dropkick Diaries, Tuesdays, 8 o'clock Eastern on Chair Shots. And we're doing Halloween Havoc 97 this coming Tuesday. Come join me. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, you better come there, review, talk about it. I know Dunbar is going to know so many facts, it's going to blow your mind. And he's just an amazing host. I've already been there when he had to come on one night. I think it was for Monday Night Raw. He had to come on and guest host it. And he did a fantastic job. So shout out to him. And yeah, I'm going to keep saying it, follow Chair Shots. And my last member of it, who's been on every episode, one of my number one supporter, always there, helping me out, making me, hey, change this, change that. Okay, fine, we'll do this, we'll do that. She's going to be on Friday, and I got to do it. It's going to be 1 second. She's going to be on there Friday for Evolution Trivia, talking about Triple H and spin the wheel. Whoever wins is going to get an Evolution pack. Diamond Dallas Barb, thank you for being on the show. What do you want to tell everybody?
First of all, that was amazing. I loved it. Thank you. Yeah, guys, you guys can find me on TikTok at Diamond Dallas Barb. I do host Bar Bar Smack Talk an hour before SmackDown. We got some fun stuff going. This Friday, we're finishing up Evolution. You still got chances to get on the wheel, so come on down. But also subscribing. We're giving away some elite action figures throughout the month of July. If you subscribe, we hit 50 subscribers, we're going to be giving away two. But on that note, I just love my Chair Shots family, including Malachimbi Jones, whether he doesn't host on Chair Shots, but he's always there supporting us. And you are so amazing. And stop referring to me as one of your biggest supporters. I am a good friend of yours. That's what you need to be saying. I am your friend, first and foremost. But also, guys out there, there has been a lot of stuff going on this past week. So I'm just going to be a teacher here for a second. Stop being trolls. End of rant.
I mean, I don't feel like that was a rant. And anybody that comes on the the Crowd Chant Chronicles Pro Wrestling Podcast is my friend, 100%. You know that. I just feel like it's good to have the support from your friends too. And yeah, even though my own Chair Shots, I would never actually go on there because I think these Diamond Dallas Barb, Dunbar, and Joe Dallas on their respective
And
days all do a fantastic, and Allie and Cactus Chris on his, they all do a fantastic job on the live. And I hope we get Allie on here. So please, everybody, like Joe Dallas said, please go on her live on Monday and tap the screen until you have like arthritis in your thumbs and it's pulsating and blood's coming out of it. Because I want to get more people on the show who I think do a great job. And I think Chair Shots does a great job. Please follow Chair Shots. Please follow me on TikTok, also the Crowd Chant Chronicles. And please subscribe to this. We have 4 more episodes. I'm pretty sure I'll have a bunch of these guys back. And thank you for listening. Goodbye.